You know what's scarier than failure? Comfort. Comfort is the sneakiest drug you'll ever take. And the worst part is, society hands it out for free. Nobody tells you this, but the reason you're stuck scrolling TikTok at 3 a.m. or staring at your ceiling wondering why life feels like a waiting room is because you've overdosed on comfort. Think about it. Comfort is the only addiction people will cheer you on for. You binge Netflix? Self-care. You order DoorDash for the fifth night in a row? Treat yourself. You cancel plans because you're tired? Good for you. Set those boundaries. And hey, boundaries are great. I'm all for mental health, but let's be real. Sometimes boundaries is just a fancy word for, I didn't feel like getting dressed. Comfort is that friend who always says, don't worry about it, you deserve a break. But then, 3 years later, you realize your entire life became one long break. Here's the truth no one wants to hear. Comfort feels good, but it doesn't make you happy. Comfort is like eating sugar. You think you want more and more, but the more you have, the emptier you feel. It's the Netflix autoplay button of life. You don't decide what's next. Comfort decides for you. And that's why people wake up at 35 wondering, wait, how did I get here? Because you were cozy. You were safe. You were comfortable. And let's be honest. Safe feels nice until you realize that it also feels like being stuck in traffic with no destination. You ever notice how the people who changed the world weren't exactly living their best life at the time? Steve Jobs was sleeping on floors. Oprah was fired from her first news job. J.K. Rowling was broke, scribbling Harry Potter in cafes because her house was freezing. They weren't comfortable. They were desperate. They were hungry. And hunger builds you. Hunger wakes you up. Comfort, on the other hand, is like Novocaine for your soul. You don't feel the pain, but you also don't feel alive. And here's the dangerous part. When you don't feel alive, you start confusing numbness with peace. Think about your phone for a second. It's a handheld comfort machine. You're bored for 2 seconds. Bam, scroll. You feel lonely. Bam, notifications. You feel stressed. Bam, Candy Crush or cat videos. You've got a whole casino in your pocket, and you wonder why your brain feels fried. Every scroll is like pulling a slot machine lever. Most of the time you lose, but every so often you hit a jackpot of entertainment, and your brain goes, do it again. You weren't designed for endless dopamine hits every 5 minutes. You weren't designed to live on a sofa, bathed in LED light, slowly transforming into a human croissant. You were designed to run, to sweat, to fight, to fail, to grow. But here's the kicker. You've been tricked into believing that comfort equals freedom. It doesn't. Comfort equals cage. It's just a very well-upholstered cage, with Netflix on one wall, Instagram on the other, and Uber Eats delivering snacks through the bars. You can decorate it however you want, but you're still locked inside. And deep down, you know it. That's why no amount of comfort ever truly satisfies. It's like drinking salt water when you're thirsty. It feels like it's helping, but the more you drink, the thirstier you get. And the craziest part? Comfort doesn't even let you rest. Have you noticed that? You binge a show for 6 hours and somehow feel more exhausted than if you'd gone for a run. You scroll TikTok till your eyes burn, and when you finally put the phone down, you're not relaxed. You're wired, anxious, empty. Because your brain knows the difference between real rest and cheap comfort. Real rest restores you. Comfort just sedates you. It's the difference between actually sleeping and just passing out. Here's a thought experiment. Imagine if you could replay every hour of your life like a Netflix watch history. What percentage would be you chasing growth, connection, purpose? And what percentage would be you lying down, thumb scrolling, waiting for something exciting to happen? That's the horror movie nobody wants to watch, because the villain isn't a monster. It's the blanket you won't put down. And I get it. You're tired. You work all day, you deal with people who think, per my last email, is a personality trait. And by the time you get home, all you want is a blanket, a show, and maybe a tub of ice cream the size of your head. Totally normal. But here's the problem. One night of comfort becomes a week, then a month, then a lifestyle. And suddenly the dream you swore you'd chase is collecting dust in the attic of your mind. Comfort is a thief that doesn't break into your house. It convinces you to hand over the keys. And you don't even notice it happening. Because comfort never kicks the door down. It whispers, you deserve this, while it slowly steals your ambition right out of your back pocket. Here's an image for you. Imagine life is a video game. You spawn in at level 1. Comfort is the pause button. And you love that pause button, right? No enemies, no stress, no risk. But here's the trick. Time keeps ticking. Everyone else is leveling up while you're paused. And when you finally hit play again, you're not just behind, you're weaker, slower, out of practice. Comfort doesn't just pause your growth, it rewinds it. And let's be real, when you've been on pause for too long, even hitting unpause feels terrifying. Suddenly, level 2 looks like climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops. And let's be real, comfort's biggest lie is that it's harmless. You think, I'm not hurting anyone, I'm just relaxing. But your dreams are in the room watching you. Your potential is standing in the corner, arms crossed, saying, really, this is what we're doing tonight again? And that's the part people don't get. Comfort isn't neutral. It's expensive. Every hour you spend avoiding discomfort, you're paying with the life you could have had. It's like putting your destiny on layaway, except you never go back to pick it up. Now, I know what you're thinking. So what, Joe? You want me to grind 24/7, sleep 4 hours a night, and eat nails for breakfast? No. I'm not saying kill yourself with hustle culture. I'm saying stop letting comfort drive your entire life. Because here's the thing. Comfort's only good when it's earned. Rest feels different when you've actually worked for it. That shower after a hard workout feels like a religious experience. That pizza after a long week of effort tastes like victory. That nap after finishing a big project feels like a medal ceremony. But when comfort is your baseline, nothing feels good anymore. Comfort without effort is like applause without performance. It's hollow. It's like someone giving you a standing ovation for showing up to dinner. Feels nice, but you know you didn't earn it. By the way, if this is hitting a nerve right now, I want you to pause for just a second and comment one word that sums up how you're feeling. Seriously, pick a word. Doesn't have to be poetic. Tired. Stuck. Ready. Exposed. Whatever. Honest ones hit the hardest, and you'll be surprised how many people feel the same. You want to know the real danger of comfort? It numbs you to the point where even suffering feels impossible. You'll avoid the gym not because it's hard, but because it's unfamiliar. You'll avoid difficult conversations not because you can't handle them, but because comfort taught you it's safer to ghost than to grow. Comfort makes you allergic to reality, and slowly your world shrinks. Before you know it, your life is just a handful of safe routines. The same 3 restaurants, the same shows, the same conversations, until every day blends together like wallpaper. Think about this. The moments you're proudest of in life were probably uncomfortable. First kiss, heart pounding, palms sweaty. First job, awkward, scary, nerve-wracking. First time you did something you thought you couldn't, whether it was running a marathon or just standing up for yourself. All of them had discomfort baked in. And that's the secret. Discomfort is the price of admission for meaning. You can't skip it. You can numb it, sure, but then you're left wondering why life feels like a rerun. And nobody brags about reruns. And here's the brutal truth. If you don't choose discomfort, life will hand it to you anyway. Sit in comfort long enough, and you'll get hit with regret, loneliness, burnout, or that terrifying realization that your best years were spent scrolling. You think comfort's protecting you, but really it's planting landmines in your future. And when one of them explodes, maybe a breakup, maybe a layoff, maybe just the crushing weight of, what have I been doing with my life? You realize all that comfort wasn't free. You paid for it with years. So what do? Start small. Take cold showers. Not because you're trying to be some TikTok Navy SEAL, but because it teaches your brain, hey, we can do uncomfortable things and not die. Say yes to something that scares you. Do the workout you've been putting off. Call that person. Write that page. Doesn't matter what it is. Just remind your brain that comfort isn't the boss of you. Because discipline beats comfort every time. Comfort feels good now. Discipline feels good forever. Discipline is like planting trees. It's tough at first, feels pointless. But one day you're sitting in the shade and realizing, oh, this is what I was building. And hey, since we're talking about discipline, this is where I'm going to tell you, if you haven't already, hit subscribe. Not because it's the YouTube thing to do, but because this channel is about training your brain to fight back against the easy path. Think of it as your little act of rebellion against the algorithm that wants you comfortable, scrolling, numbing. Subscribing is you saying, no, I'm choosing growth. It's basically like push-ups for your soul, but easier. Here's the story I'll leave you with. Imagine a lion in the wild. He's strong, fierce, dangerous. Now imagine that same lion in a zoo. Fed every day, no need to hunt, plenty of comfort. Sounds great, right? But over time, he forgets how to roar. He forgets how to fight. He forgets he was ever a king. That's what comfort does to us. It doesn't kill you, it tames you. It turns warriors into spectators. It turns adventurers into couch critics. So, my friend, don't let life turn you into a zoo lion. Choose the hunt. Choose the challenge. Choose the discomfort that makes you grow. Because the alternative is slowly losing the fire in your eyes. Comfort is the most dangerous addiction, not because it feels bad, but because it feels good enough to stop you from chasing what would have been incredible. And deep down, you know you're meant for more. So tonight, maybe put the phone down a little earlier. Do one hard thing. Prove to yourself you're still alive, because you are, and the world's waiting to see it.